welcome to episode 17 of the Neon Knitter podcast. So, I have a finished object, I have a whip, and I have 3 acquisitions. So, let's get into this. For starters, I will apologize. I don't have my microphone on. I misplaced it and I couldn't find what I did with it. And I needed to get this episode out to you guys. Um, so if you watched my previous video, which I believe is titled Life Update, Why I Haven't Been Uploading Lately, or something like that. I forget exactly what I titled it. But, you will know I've been having mental health struggles with my anxiety and that I'm going into residential care for my anxiety. More on that if you go check that video out, but this is my last video before I go to my program. So, yeah. I am unsure if I'll be able to film while I'm there, but we'll see. If I am, there's going to be a lot of MCAL content, because I'll be there during October, as well as I'll be there during September, and during September I hope to get an episode out for you guys, but we'll see, okay? If not, there'll be a big episode when I get home, which would be 2 to 3 months till I get home, so I'm hoping there'll be some content I can film. I just have to find a private space to do that in which nobody's going to interrupt me. So, that's why it's very important to me to get this episode out, and even though I couldn't find my microphone, I said, screw it, I'm still doing this. So, apologies for the audio being less perfect than it usually is. Anyways, so I'm going to start with my finished object. Now, yes, it's been a while since I've made an episode. I finished this at the end of June, beginning of July. This is my Doodler shawl. This is the Doodler by Stephen West. Here, I'll take it off and show you guys. So yeah, so I'm very happy with how this turned out. I don't have my yarn labels on me right now, but, my color A is this black and white variegated yarn. It's actually a self-striping sock yarn. It is Earth Yarn's unique sock in the colorway Zebra. Then we have color B, which is this green. This is Madeline Tosh Euro sock in the colorway Malmo, M-A-L-M-O. And then we have color C, which is Madeline Tosh Euro sock in the colorway Wino Forever. So yeah. Now, I'm really sad that Madeline Tosh discontinued Euro sock. I doubt anyone from Madeline Tosh is watching this, but if you are, please bring back Euro sock. I miss it. But yeah, this is such a wonderful shawl, and I really love how it turned out with the zebra yarn. Yeah, I think that it looks really cool. So, if this were a mystery, I might have picked a solid, but this was the 2015 mystery knit along, so I did not knit it as a mystery, because I've only been knitting the West Knits MCAL since 2021, which was shawlography, so, but I do have yarns for all the past ones, as well as coordinating shirts, so, yeah. And you guys will have to stay tuned. I think I might have this year's yarn picked out. I don't know for sure yet, because he hasn't officially released the requirements. He's just kind of mentioned a little bit on the Stephen and Penelope Instagram post. So, I think I have my palette for this year. We'll see. But you guys aren't going to know what my yarns are till October 1st, so, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, so I'm very happy with how my doodler turned out. I love that it's got these Pico details here. I will say I did make a big mistake on this shawl, which did not impact the shawl. Um, my cables are leaning the opposite way from what the pattern said, because I was about halfway through the cables by the time I realized. So clearly the pattern says cable to the back. And clearly I accidentally held my needle to the front the whole time until I was halfway through the cables, and then I'm like, oh shoot. But I wasn't willing to rip it out. I'm like, you know what? It doesn't impact the shawl really. It just makes mine more unique and special. So, you know. But yeah, so that is that. My cables are leaning the wrong direction, but yep, I wasn't gonna fix it. If it was significant to the shawl, I would have fixed it. But, you know, if it were a mystery, I probably would have fixed it not knowing what's next. Um, but yeah, so there you have it. Um, but yeah, otherwise I'm very happy with it. And there is an extra large size as well as a regular size, and I made the larger size. So that's just on the border here, there's an extra wedge. That's all there is on this purple border. So, yeah. And then, of course, as always, I sewed a Westnitz tag onto it. Westnitz are the best knits. Here, it was upside down. Sorry. Westnitz are the best knits, because I sew that onto all the MCALs, all the past ones. Because he didn't start doing specific MCAL tags till 2020, which, yes, I know I started knitting in 2021, or knitting the MCAL in 2021. I learned how to knit in 2014, so, yeah. No, I know I only started knitting the Mystery Knit Along in 2021, but I did manage to snag an MCAL 2020 tag when Slipstravaganza was going on. I don't have a sticker, but I didn't participate in it as a mystery, so it's fine. But I got a tag because I picked my yarns while it was still a mystery, so. Anyways, sorry for me ranting on. I tend to rant on about things more when I have high stress versus when I don't. So, yeah. Alright, so let's move on to my whip. Now, I have lots of whips going at the moment, but this is the one I'm actively working on. So, I'm just going to show this one today. This is a new cast on since you have seen me last. But I will mention that I have been working on this for quite a while now, and I'm almost done with it. This is another Stephen West shawl. This is the Building Blocks shawl. This Stephen West. It is the 2016 Mystery Knit Along. So there are 9 sections, and I am on section 8. So, yeah. So, yeah, I've got 4 different colors as the pattern calls for. So my color A, and all 4 of these yarns are Madeline Tosh Merino Light. So, sorry, I probably should have pulled them out of my bag before I started filming, and I did not, so I am doing that now, so bear with me. So, these are all Madeline Tosh Merino Light. So this is my color A. It is called Cotton Candy Daydreams. And I believe it's a discontinued color. But, yeah, here is Cotton Candy Daydreams. Then color B is Ultramarine Violet. And here it is. It's this beautiful, really vibrant royal purple. It's like a neon royal purple. That's my best description. And then color C is Fiddle Neck. Let me see where it says it. Says it. Oh, there. Fiddle Neck. And back in, I don't remember if it was 2020 or 2021, Madeline Tosh did a collab with Shibui Knits. Yeah, I know, we're all sad that Shibui went out of business. But Madeline Tosh actually is starting to bring back some of the Shibui yarns under their name, so yeah. But yes, Madeline Tosh did a collab with Shibui Knits. And I think it was 2021. That sounds about right. Might have been 2020. Again, don't quote me. I think it was 2021. Yeah, that seems about right. So this collab with Shibui Knits, they had, I believe, 6 different colors in the collab, and so the colors were only available on 2 different bases. Either you could get it on Madeline Tosh Merino Light, or you could get it on Shibui Knits Silk Cloud, which is a lightweight mohair silk. So obviously I have Tosh Merino Light. The skein had a knot in it, so it's in 2 pieces. And I've also used a significant amount of it already, so this is not a whole skein anymore, but yeah. So that is my color C. And then my color D is, and by the way, this collab is not happening anymore, so that is also a discontinued color. Color D is called Mars in Retrograde, which is this, which is the color I'm currently knitting with. So, yeah, so out of all 4 of the colors, 2 of them are discontinued and 2 of them are not, because the other one they still make is Ultramarine Violet. I'd be so sad if they discontinued it. But these are the 4 colors in my shawl. And it's turning out like this. I'm very happy with it. Sorry, I hope you guys can hear me behind my shawl. Again, apologies for not being able to find what I did with my microphone. But yeah, so that's what my building block shawl is turning out like. So, if I get an episode filmed at my anxiety program, I don't know that this will be blocked, because I don't think I can bring my blocking materials, because they're very particular about sharp objects, and I think my T-pins are considered to be too sharp, and also I don't have space to lay out my blocking mats, let alone a spot to get this wet at. So I think that is something that is not happening. I think this will be unblocked in my next episode. So yeah, just FYI. Okay, acquisitions. I'm going to go in chronological order of when I got them. I have 3 acquisitions to share. Excuse me. So, this first acquisition, and I will insert footage. I filmed a video at the shop that I got this at. My video footage of the shop is kinda leaves some little bit to be desired. My goal was to make a separate LYS tour video, but my footage ended up being like 20 seconds long, so because I kind of frantically just last minute remembered to film, so I kind of went, and moved the camera kind of quick. So, sorry about that. I will, if I ever make it there again, try to do better, but I don't know. It's not an area I get to very often. So, I went to a yarn shop called Serenity Now. Let's see, what's it called? Serenity Now Yarn and Alpaca Shop. Sorry, this is my bag from there. I already took the yarn out so I wouldn't rumple the bag in the video, but that's the shop. Or if we try to hold it still. Alright. So, Serenity Now Serenity Now Yarn and Alpaca Shop. Sorry, I keep getting it wrong. Yeah, Serenity Now Yarn and Alpaca Shop is located in Pine River, Minnesota. So, a little less than a month ago, my neighbor asked me and my brother if we'd like to spend a weekend at her family cabin. And so, we went up to her family cabin. And of course I discovered that in the nearest town there happened to be a yarn shop. So I had to go check it out, of course. So that's what Serenity Now is. The yarn shop in the nearest town. Pine River, Minnesota. So, yeah. And here is what I bought. I cannot find any information about this dyer online whatsoever. But I was told that she's a local person. Here, my receipt actually has the dyer's name on it. Yeah, I guess her name is Jackie Brower. I don't know. But her business is called Speckled Ewe Farm. And guys, I had to have this yarn. It is so pretty. I got 2 skeins of it. So that's all they had. I can't find Speckled Ewe Farm online anywhere, so. But anyways, this is Speckled Ewe Farm Simple Sock. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 437 yards. The color is called Fall Sweets. And I think this is just so beautiful. So gorgeous. I had to have it, guys. I couldn't leave it at the store. Had to have it. So pretty. So, I will be making the C Street Tank by Brianna Lupino of the Little Wolf Knits. It's a sleeveless top because I don't have enough for even short sleeves because I'd run out. But I think I'm pronouncing the name of the pattern correctly. C Street. It's C space ST space TANK. C Street Tank. I don't know. Correct me in the comments if you happen to know how to pronounce it and I happen to be wrong. And if Brianna Lupino happens to be watching this, please correct me. Okay? So, that is my first acquisition. Here is my second acquisition. this is, sorry, kind of tangled up here. There we go. This is some yarn that I got at Stephen B in Minneapolis in the free bin. So oftentimes, not always, but most of the time, Stephen B will have a free bin of yarn right by the entrance to the shop. And it's mostly like partial balls of yarn or skeins missing their labels or just stuff they want to get rid of. So it's usually nothing exciting. Usually it's like one skein of something partial or some weird novelty yarn that they just aren't selling or whatever. You know, it's usually nothing good. Usually I don't grab something from it. But they had all of this. Now, one of the shop staff had a theory of what yarn this is, but we don't know for sure. We think this might be Cascade 220 Superwash, but we're not quite sure. And I still have to figure out how much is in each skein, because these could be partial ones, I don't know. And once I figure that out, I can then figure out what pattern to do. But I think I might be knitting the Fulton's Dynamo Tee by Kate Davies. I think that's the name of the pattern and the designer. Don't quote me. I will pop a photo on the screen. And the pattern does use 2 fingering weights held double, but her sample, I believe both strands are the same color, so I messaged her and said, could I use a strand of DK instead? And she said, absolutely. So I think that's maybe what I'll do if I discover I have enough, because it seems like a DK weight. So, yeah. So that is that. Definitely have to check my gauge and make sure. And then today I bought another acquisition. So today I went to Hobby Lobby. And there was a colorway of the Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed that I just absolutely had to have. So I'm going to take the label off of it so you guys can see it. But this is so pretty, you guys. Oh my gosh. So gorgeous. I could not refuse this yarn. And I've seen this color for a while now. Unfortunately, it was not a 30% off week, but it was kind of my last chance to go before I admit to my program, so I decided to just go for it because I was nervous they could potentially discontinue it while I'm gone or something. But I picked up 3 skeins, 3 hanks of it, because that's what I will need to make a t-shirt. I had a pattern all picked out, but I'm not sure where I put it. Like, it's in some random tab on my Google Chrome on my phone. But I don't know what happened. I couldn't find it. So if I figure out what pattern that was, great. If I find a different pattern, great. But I'm going to make a short sleeve top out of it. Okay? So this is Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed. It's 400 yards, 100% superwash merino. It's fingering weight. The color is called Hibiscus Palm. Hibiscus Palm. So, yeah, I just think this is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I had to have it, guys. Had to. So, yeah. So that is my final acquisition. So, that is that for this episode. I don't have anything else to share. So, if I'm able to post another episode and also MCAL content, then I will try to do that. And if I am not, I will see you guys in a few months. I'm hoping I can at least do the MCAL content because those videos tend to be shorter. Because I know that I need a longer allotment of time to sit down and do a podcast. I know it'll be a shorter episode though because I won't have any acquisitions to share. So there is that. But yeah, so with that being said, I will either see you from my program or I'll see you in a few months. I'm Andrew. Thank you for checking in here at the Neon Knitter, and I will see you in my next video, whenever that is.